This is a relatively easy PSAT, SAT vocab question, yet it's still a really great encapsulation of the strategy that we're going to need when these things get harder. And that is to find some sort of strong word, strong idea within the passage that basically defines for us what that blank is going to be. So let's take a look. Novelist Leon Forrest admired William Faulkner's writing style. Forrest's novel Divine Days contains a long passage in tribute to Faulkner that is a perfect blank of Faulkner's style. Anyone familiar with Faulkner's writing would see the resemblance, right? So first of all, anytime you see a colon like this, it's usually the case that they are basically just repeating themselves. So if we see the colon right after the blank like that, it's kind of like they're about to give us the definition for the blank. And I noticed that the word resemblance is basically the strongest word in that extra part. It's telling us a lot about what we're looking for. And so I'm basically going to copy it to put in the blank. We're looking for something that means in tribute to Faulkner that is a perfect resemblance of Faulkner's style. Now, obviously, that's not the right answer because, they're not going to repeat themselves that obviously, but they're going to use something very, very similar. And in this case, even just quickly scanning the words, imitation is basically a synonym for resemblance. So if you imitate something, you copy it. If you resemble something, you look like it. So it's perfect. The other words just don't make any sense. Is a perfect forgetting? Well, no, he's copying it. Rejection? Well, this is a good example of something that could make sense. Right? There's another version of this passage where maybe that word would fit in the blank, and it sounds like it could. But then obviously what we need is something that's giving us that sort of, that strong word that's backing it up, that's giving us evidence of that. We just don't have that here. In fact, we have the exact opposite, that they're not rejecting Faulkner. Faulkner is good here. We're copying him. So it doesn't make sense with all that context, but I think a mistake people make on these vocab questions is they read it and they just kind of listen for which choice makes sense in the blank or could make sense, what sounds good, but that's not the game we're playing. Everything needs to be supported with evidence. And opinion, I don't think even makes sense if you read it in there. A perfect opinion of Faulkner's style, I don't think that makes any logical sense either. So this is, again, not a hard question, but we're going to need to use this exact same skill when they do get harder on later questions.